How we going, guys? Gonna fletch some arrows tonight. I've got 6 arrows to fletch that have all got a bit of damage on them. So this damage is caused by my arrow rest. All 6 arrows are damaged in exactly the same way. So I don't know if I need to rotate my nocks a bit to get a bit of clearance. I don't really want to rotate my nocks because they are all flying like beautiful. So because it's only the one fletch damaged, these are the Gas Pro vanes. Really like them, they really stabilise the arrow, really good at long distance. So I predominantly shoot 50 metres for bare bow. These seem to be absolutely brilliant, work really well. They look quite big on the screen there, but they're only tiny, which is lovely, really lightweight. So I'm going to fletch some arrows. I'm only going to change the one that is damaged on each of the arrows. So all you'll need is your spin wing from Gas Pro, or any other spin wing, or any other fletching you want. Some tape. So this is a double-sided tape from Jet 6. It's really good, comes in little strips. You just peel it off, and let's peel one off. Look. You just peel it off, and then it's a piece of double-sided tape. And you stick it to your vane, stick it to your arrow, easy peasy. I'm just using these up because I've got them, but what I do also have, which was a lot cheaper, is some 3mm double-sided tape on a roll. So this was like half the price of these Jet 6 tapes. So this is gonna do loads of arrows. It is a 10-meter roll of tape. Like, that's gonna do a lot of arrows. I also use a fluorescent yellow vinyl. So this is a sticky vinyl that sort of car detailers use to do like vinyl pin striping. This is a 5mm tape or a 4mm tape. I can't remember. It's probably like 4mm, 5mm. But it's just a vinyl adhesive tape, and it sticks absolutely brilliant for sticking just the ends of your fletchings down. And because it is fluorescent yellow, if you lose your arrow, just wait till it's dark or getting dimpsy, shine the torch around where you think it's to, and bang, you'll see it straight away. It's so easy. I've also got fluorescent yellow nocks. Find them so easy if I do miss the target. So I will show you the process of me fletching an arrow, or changing one fletch on each arrow. So I've stripped one off already, I will show you. So this one has only 2 fletchings on. I don't know if you can see that or not. So this one's only got 2 fletchings, because I stripped one off already to see how difficult it was before I made this video. So I've stripped one off, and you will see on here, I have a yellow line, which is where my fletching will be put back on. So to get those yellow lines, all I do is I have a normal fletching jig. It's just a cheap Amazon one, nothing fancy. I put my arrow in the fletching jig, like so. This is used for holding your normal fletchings if you're using like parabolic fletchings. I use these for the first year of my archery. They were absolutely fine, nothing wrong with them. they're just a bit heavy compared to these. These, I breathe on them and they blow all around the table, whereas these, you'd have to blow fairly hard to get these to move across the table. They're considerably heavier. So I was looking to have less weight at the back of my arrow and more weight at the front, to carry it through the wind a bit nicer. So I don't use these anymore. These are just spare ones that I have kicking around. I'll probably give them to my father-in-law and he can use them. So I just put this on, and on this you will see I have some yellow marks, one there and one there. That is literally just so I can draw a line on my arrow between those two marks so that I can tape the fletching to my arrow. And on the other side, I've got some yellow marks as well. One there and one down here somewhere, down there. Squared off a little bit, but there is one there, trust me. One there and one there. And they are for my indoor arrows, for my big 4-inch feathers, for really straightening out the arrow at short distances. Gives it a lot more wind drag and it will straighten your arrow out in no time. So I just click this on here, like so. I will show you. I will spin the camera, or spin this around so you can see it. Right, poking myself in the head. So that is sort of what it will look like. And then all I do is I get a paint marker. It's just an acrylic permanent paint marker. Again, Amazon, very cheap. And I just draw a line along there, right on the edge of the fletching jig, right down there, between my two yellow marks, so I know exactly where my fletching's going. Nothing crazy about it, it's not rocket science, very simple to do. So I do that, mark it, spin it round, mark it for the next fletching, spin it round, mark it, take it off, next arrow on. Very straightforward to do. So that is that. I don't need, because this is already marked, because I've fletched these before, this one's already marked. They're all already marked as well. So I don't need this jig, because that permanent marker pen, this paint pen, is brilliant. It doesn't wipe off, it's really good. Once it's dry and it's on there, it's amazing. I also use this pen to put my initials. Should we zoom you in? Zoom it in. So I use this to put my initials in there. Don't know if we can see this. But I also number my arrows. Zoom out, just push the camera away. Very high tech. Right, here we go. So I will show you how I go about this. It is a bit fiddly, it's a bit of a faff, but I used to glue fletchings on. So these parabolic ones, I used to glue these on, and you always get a little glue run and it just looks untidy. You get a little white mark down your back of your arrow. It just looks untidy. I don't really like it. With the double-sided tape, you have none of that. You literally tape your spin wing, trim the ends of the tape, peel off the backing, stick it on your line, spin it round, next one, stick it on, next one, stick it on, and then we just wrap around with the fluorescent yellow tape just to hold the ends down. Job done. Don't need to do anything else. No drying time, nothing like that. Absolutely brilliant. You can go out and shoot them straight away. Haven't got to wait 10 minutes for glue to dry or whatever it is. So this is really good. Another thing you'll probably want is just an alcohol wipe to give your arrows a clean so that your fletchings and your tape stick to it. Same with glue. If you're gluing fletchings on, give it a wipe, give it a clean. Just gives it a nicer area for it to stick to. What else? Let's get right to it, I suppose. Nothing else to really say? No, here we go. What we'll do is we will take off the one fletching off of all 6 of these arrows, and I'll show you how easy it is. So this fluorescent tape, literally peel it and get the end started, which is not ideal. I have no fingernails. Terrible habit of biting my nails. So I just peel that tape off, discard that, stick it over there, and find the end of that one. Peel that one off, spin the arrow, done. Simple. That is the tape off that holds the tails of the spin wing. So this one's damaged, so we'll take this one off. Just peel it off, comes off nice and simple. Leaves a little glue residue on there, but I'll just give that a little wipe in a minute, clean it off, no dramas at all. So that spin wing is rubbish. That can go over there. There's hardly any residue on there. It'd probably come off with my finger, to be honest. But I will give it the alcohol wipe as well to make sure it is nice and clean and fresh, ready to be glued back on. Very straightforward scene. That didn't take me a minute, I suppose. Nothing drastic about that at all. So that is 2 ready. Go with another one. And if there is anything else you guys want to see, obviously arrow fletching isn't very exciting. But if you want to see some form videos or positions your hand should be in when you are gripping your bow, or see more slow-mo release videos, or you want to see some videos of hopefully me shooting 6 gold ends. I shot my first 6 gold end competition the other day, and it was absolutely wonderful. And since I have shot that 6 gold end in a competition, I have been shooting really well. I shot my first 600, so it was a double 720 at Weybridge in the UK, and I shot my first 600 in competition. That was in the morning session, and then the second double, or the second 720, was not so good. So I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself to do really well. So in the morning, I was nice and relaxed, everything was cool, no dramas at all. And I shot incredibly well for me. So that 600, I've never shot a 600 in competition. I've only ever shot a 600, 608 is my PB, and I've only ever shot that once in a training session. But since I shot that 6 gold end, I've been shooting really well, and every sort of training session or every competition, I seem to be shooting a 6 gold end at the moment, which is incredible. My shooting has really come along in the last 2 months perhaps, probably less than that. No, about 2 months I would say. So I did a lot of work on my form. So if you don't know, I've had a total hip replacement recently. And because I couldn't get out and shoot for like 4 weeks, I was just doing a lot of work on my form. So I had my stretchy band that they give you when you do like a beginner's course. They give you all these stretchy bands to go away and practice your form and your draw and all of that good stuff. So I had one of those, and I got a friend with a 3D printer to put a handle on it for me. And then I thought, I'm going to take this a step further. I'll get it out in a minute. Take this a step further, and I'm going to put a piece of an old string on it so that it gives you the same feel of when you're drawing your bow. I know it's not the same poundage, but just being able to feel the string in your hand rather than a big bulky rubber band. So I use my tab that I use, my finger tab, I use that to give me the same feel. So I just spent hours and hours just practicing my form and just drawing this rubber band back, and I didn't release. I just drew it back, let it down, drew it back, let it down, and just repeated the process over and over again, which I think has dramatically improved my shooting. You lot are probably thinking, just shut up and just show me fletching arrows. Sorry, it takes a bit of time to get this stuff off, but we're nearly there. We have one more to do. Probably think I'm just rambling on. So that 600 I shot in competition. I never actually told you the end of that. So I shot 600 in the morning session. In the afternoon session, it didn't go very well. I shot a 5:32, I believe it was. That was this weekend just gone. Weekend coming, which is why I am getting these arrows ready now, because it is now Thursday night or Thursday evening. I am getting these ready because I am shooting another double 720 at Red Roof on Saturday. So hopefully there's some really good archers going there as well. So hopefully on Saturday I will be a bit more comfortable, a bit more relaxed. Hopefully the morning session goes as well as my previous one, and hopefully shoot at 600 again or even higher would be delightful. But also hoping my second session goes well. I think I just put too much pressure on myself, and I pressure myself into doing well. And I think on Saturday last week, because I had shot a 600, I sort of then pressured myself into thinking I could shoot a 600 again. I was so excited. I was like, oh, I need to do that again. It was absolutely brilliant. Everything was perfect. And I just put so much pressure on myself to do it again. It was not really achievable for my shooting ability. I was very lucky to shoot the 600 in the first place, let alone shoot two of them. So hopefully we'll do a bit better this weekend and be a bit more consistent. I'm not worried if I shoot two 550s or 560, whatever it might be. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, I enjoy shooting. Yes, it's nice to win, but I do enjoy shooting, so it doesn't really matter whether I win or lose. I will show you the process of sticking the tape to these spin wings. Here we go. And obviously, I'm pretty boring, so just fast forward if you're not interested. How many arrows? 6 arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one can go back in the pack. Yeah, so these are the Gas Pro vanes. They just come in a bag. They do come with, I didn't realise they come with tape. So I bought these from Merlin Archery, and nowhere said that it comes with tape. It just said it's 50 pieces of fletching. Brilliant, lovely. It's a 50 pack, they're yellow. That was like all the information it said. It didn't say it comes with tape so it comes with tape to wrap around the ends of the tails, and it comes with the double-sided tape to stick them on. It didn't say that, so I ordered some from Merlin, which is these Jet 6 ones, which I'm just trying to use up now, but I have like hundreds of them. I didn't realise how much it came with. Like there's hundreds in this little pack. They're going to take me ages to use them, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Right. So I've peeled the tape off. So what I'm going to do, let's zoom you in, pull the camera closer and down. Here we go. Now this is fiddly. It is a bit of a faff, but you'll just have to sort of bear with me and see if we can see what we're doing here, because I don't have any fingernails, so it is a pain to peel this off. And I'll probably get stressed out with it and throw it away and use, oh, here we go. I was going to say, and use a different one. So I just peel that tape off. And then this is the bit that's a pain. So you've got to try and stick this. So I have seen a video of Jake Kaminsky doing this, and he makes it look very easy, which is why I bought, already gone wrong. Here we go. Which is why I bought the roll of tape. So you can cut off a strip of tape and then actually use like a bit of sellotape or masking tape and stick the ends of it down. So you just, with the roller tape, peel off a roll, peel off a piece, stretch it out, stick it that end, stick it that end so it's nice and straight. And then you just get your spin wings and you straighten them out and you just plonk them on, and you can do on like this. I use this little chopping board because it's a nice flat hard surface, but it doesn't need to be. So you just straighten your spin wing out, plonk them on, nice and straight on the tape, perfect every time, and you can probably across this board fit like a good 8 across there. Very simple. And then all you do is untape it, cut either side of the spin wing, simple, you're ready to roll. Whereas because I'm trying to use these up, it is a faff to peel. It's nice that they're sort of the right length, but they're still a bit long and they need trimming, but they're just a faff. Like, a roll of tape is 100% better. In fact, I might just give these away to somebody else at the club, and I'll oh, come on, and I'll just stick to my roller tape and use that, because although saying that, I'll keep a few of these, because if I do have a fletching come off at a competition or whatever, I can just, oh, the other side of that was peeled off that time, use one of these to get me sorted again for the next round. So if a fletching comes off, like I've got spare arrows, most people will have 12 arrows, and obviously in a 720 you only need 6 arrows. You're shooting 6 arrow ends, 1 spare one in your quiver. So if one does rip in a competition, just put that arrow to one side, grab another one that's already fletched, and off you go again. But if you didn't have the luxury of having 12 arrows and you only had 6 arrows and you did rip one, this would get you out of a spot of bother. You could easily refletch this at a competition, as long as it's not windy and blowing your fletchings around everywhere. That would be a pain. You're probably thinking, Pete, you're making that look really hard. It's not. It's just my fat fingers and no fingernails. But yeah, I will be doing a video soon on my bow setup. So I will be doing a video of how I set my bow up with sort of biter blocks and get everything lined up and set my center shot and all of that, because I did say the other day my center shot is slightly different to sort of how you're told to set them up. So I will do a video on that. Nice thing about this as well, if you don't quite line it up right, you can just peel it off, put it on again. It's no dramas. It will still stick to the fletching and it will still stick to your arrow shaft. So just lining them up, it is a bit of a faff, but we're there. So I get them all like that. So that has got the double-sided tape on it. Who are we looking here? Then we just grab a pair of scissors, nothing too high-tech here. And where the tape comes to the end of the fletching, I just give it like a little bit, 1.5 mils maybe. Don't know if you can see that. Just there where the white bit is, that is still tape, all right? So I'll just extend it past a little bit, nothing too drastic. We just trim another one. That is that fletching ready to roll. Just got to peel the tape off, stick it to the arrow. Perfect. Stick those bits there. So I'll just go through these, get them all done, get them all ready. And then it is just a case of sticking them on the arrow. Wrap some of the fluorescent yellow tape around to stop the tails picking up. Job's a good one. Also, if anyone is at a competition and sees me, don't be afraid. Come over and say hello. I don't bite very often. And if you do see me at a competition and you want any advice, I'm obviously not a coach or anything like that. I haven't been shooting all that long, but if you do feel like I could potentially give you any advice, then don't be afraid to ask. I will help you if I can. Or potentially you could give me some help. You might see me shooting and think, oh, he's doing that all wrong. I'm always open to advice or criticism. Right, here we go. We will just peel some tape and stick it on. Okay, easy one. Peel off, throw the rubbish over there, and then we just get lined up with my line. Stick her right on there. Why don't you want to stick? I know exactly why you don't want to stick. Go on, do it, do it. It's because I have just told you you should wipe that, and I have not wiped it. Is it going to be all right? Is it going to stay stuck? Should I take it off and redo it? I think it's going to be okay. But the others I will definitely wipe. I don't think it's going to come off. It is pretty well on there. I'll get a wipe and wipe the others. I have a wipe right here. Just a little alcohol wipe. It doesn't need much of a wipe. Boom. And like I said earlier, my yellow pen still stays on there. It's really good acrylic paint pen. And they weren't very expensive from Amazon. be fair, the most expensive thing about my bow and my bow setup is my arrows. They are super expensive compared to the rest of my bow setup. I think that's good. Yeah, compared to the rest of my bow setup, my arrows are super expensive. My arrows are probably more expensive than my bow and my limbs and everything all together. They are the Easton X10 Parallel Pros, 4mm. Are they 4mm? They are 4mm. I know this, I don't know why I'm asking you. They are an incredible arrow. They just fly really nicely. And with these spin wings on as well, they just stabilise so good. I bought these because they are nice and light. So I was shooting Easton, what were they? They were big, heavy aluminium ones. Look at the dirt that's just come off those arrows. Grubby. Anyway, I'm going to clean the others. They were, I can't remember what arrows they were. They were definitely Easton's. Easton Jazz, maybe? Is that a thing? A Jazz? I feel like it was a Jazz. But they were quite a heavy arrow because my draw length is so long. And I was shooting like a reasonable poundage at the time. It wasn't ridiculous. It would have probably been like 36 pounds maybe on the fingers. So I had these big heavy arrows, and that was absolutely brilliant. While I was learning to sort of shoot, they were brilliant and they flew straight, really good. But just when I wanted to get out to sort of 50 yards and beyond, they were too heavy. I just could not get out there. And at the time I had those parabolic fletchings on and they were slowing it down and the arrow was so heavy. I had upped my poundage to 43 pounds, which is what I shoot now. 43 pounds on my fingers. Look at that. Clean your arrows, kids. So I was shooting 43 pounds on my fingers. But because my arrows were so heavy, I just couldn't get them out to 50 yards, and it was a nightmare. It was stressing me out. But now with these X10s, 50 yards is no drama. Absolutely no problem at all. Yeah, these can get you 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 yards, no dramas. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. And that is just because of the weight of the arrow. So grains per inch was a huge difference with these. These are so much lighter. Right old pickle here. These are so much lighter. Oh yeah, that sticks better. Clean your arrow. Perfect, stuck on. Next one. This is a nice simple bit. Sticking fletchings on. Peel that off. Stick that on. Spin that round. So I stick it on the right way. I want to stick it on backwards, do I? Or opposite to the others. So these are actually a left-handed spin wing. And I bought these purely because they were on sale. Most people shoot with a right-handed spin wing. I shoot with a left-handed spin wing because they were on sale. That is the only reason I have left-handed. Everyone will sort of go, oh, you should shoot with a right-handed one, or I shoot with left-handed because when my arrow, I've done slow-mo footage, when my arrow leaves the bow, it goes out at spinning left or anti-clockwise or clockwise or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. I have found if I shoot with a left spin wing or a right spin wing, doesn't matter. Really doesn't make any difference at all. So my arrows are going so fast, if it starts to turn to the right immediately out of the bow, with left-handed spin wings on, it will turn it the other way without even thinking about it. It just does it. Before it's gone 6 feet, the arrow will be spinning the direction it's meant to be spinning with these fletchings on. And the same the other way around. If you put a right-handed spin wing on and your bow leaves the bow going one way, your fletchings will sort it out and twist it the other way. It's no big deal. And I've seen online somewhere that if you do match it up to the way the arrow leaves the bow or whatever, it could potentially overspin the arrow and make it unstable. I think that's all just a load of rubbish, to be honest. I think it doesn't really matter which way your arrow is spinning. It doesn't matter how fast your arrow is spinning. As long as they are consistent every time, it doesn't matter. My arrows weigh all the same. The point weight is all the same. The nocks are all the same. The fletchings are all the same. If you can keep all your kit consistent, it doesn't matter. Because I've said before, if like to become a good archer, you haven't actually got to be good. You just got to be consistent. So you can do your beginner's course and they'll teach you how the perfect student or the perfect person would shoot. Right, we've done all 3 of these, or all 6 of these, all got 3 fletchings on now. Very straightforward, very simple. So they will teach you how to do the generic, this is how you shoot, this is how you hold your bow and all of that jazz, which is fine, but everyone is different. You're not all going to be shooting exactly the same way. Some people's bodies are different. You can't get your elbow all the way around, or you sort of lock out here, or you can't get your elbow down and you're shooting with a high elbow, or you might be collapsing a little bit, or whatever. It might be anything really, but you know, everyone is different. So as long as you're consistent, if you're not shooting the perfect technique or the perfect string alignment or, you know, all of this jazz, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're consistent and you can make the same shot every time, it doesn't matter whether you're doing it right or doing it wrong. As long as you're not causing yourself an injury, and if you do have an injury, stop what you're doing and reassess the situation. Obviously, you don't want to hurt yourself or be a big man and just be like, oh, just push on through, it'll be fine. Because just a little niggle will set you back in your archery. Right, here we go. So we have the fluorescent tape. I'm just gonna literally wrap it around, just like 1.5 wraps, nothing terrible here. So you can't see that from that side, but I can see it. I'm just gonna place this on there. Press it down with my thumb, and then just a little bit of tension. It doesn't need a lot. I'm gonna go around. So that is one, and I'm gonna go around just another one, because I know I've done 2 wraps on my other ones, and this tape's lovely because you can just go pop and it pulls off. And this is just the vinyl tape. Look how neat that is. Look at that. That is lovely. And then I've got enough tape here. It's only a tiny bit of tape to do the back edge. I'll just peel a bit more out. Just get it going. Plop it on here with my thumb. Just to anchor it down. A little bit of tension. Like, I'm not pulling hard on this tape. I'm not, I don't know, you'll get a feel for it when you do it. You'll know if you're getting the right amount of tension on it to make it look tidy. 2 times. Throw that bit away. Look how tidy that is. Beautiful. That is 1 arrow refletched, ready for Red Roof on Saturday. Boom, here's the next one. So same again, cut off a little bit of my fluorescent yellow tape. Don't need a lot. I don't know, what's that? Just over 2 inches perhaps? It's really not very big. Peel the end off. In fact, it's probably nearly closer to 3 inches. I lied. But that's mostly so I've got enough to hold on to it as well with my fat fingers. Here we go. Finally got the tape off. So I'll just pop it on here, anchor it down with my thumb, little press, and then we just rotate the arrow. Two times, tear it off, beautiful. Next bit out. Anchor it down, spin it round. Oh, genuinely done a really nice job of that. Very pleased. Boom, another one done. So yeah guys, if you do want any advice or any videos on anything really, just send me a message and we'll see what we can work out. We'll be able to do a video, well, do a video on pretty much anything, to be honest, even if it's not archery related, but we shall see. Most of it will be archery related. In fact, peeling tape is the worst part about this. So if you want to see any specific videos, let me know. The next one will probably be my bow setup, how I set my limb alignment, my center shot, set my wire up. Because what I was thinking was I might buy myself another riser. So my old arrows now are fletched with, my old arrows are fletched with some big 4-inch feathers for indoors. But what I don't want to do is change my bow setup like every week to shoot indoors, outdoors, indoors, outdoors. So I'm thinking what I might do is buy myself another riser, treat myself to another riser, probably be exactly the same as what I shoot at the moment. So I shoot the Kinetic Vigo V2. I will probably buy myself another Kinetic Vigo V2 because I know it's a nice bow and I'm shooting it really well. So what I was thinking was I will buy myself another bow and then I can set it up but I can show you guys how I set it up for my indoor arrows. So I shoot these outdoors at 50 meters. My bow is currently set up for 50 meters. I will buy another riser when I've got the cash, so that I can set it up specifically for shooting my old arrows for indoors, because indoors will be coming up soon and I really enjoy shooting indoors, predominantly because I'm very good at it, and it's just nice shooting at 20 yards and seeing your arrows go right in the center. It is lovely. This year I'm really going to try and concentrate on shooting indoors, and really try and do some good competitions and get about a bit more, so I can get really good at indoors, because I'm good at it, but I could be better. There's always room for improvement. So this year I think I would like to shoot more indoor competitions, because that's really the way you get better at shooting competitions, is just to get out there and do them, obviously. So I will try this year and do more indoor competitions. I struggled last year a bit because I was having problems with my hip and whatnot, but now I've had my hip replaced, no excuses, get right into it. So I'm actually shooting this weekend at Red Roof. So yeah, last weekend was Weybridge. This weekend is Red Roof, double 720. Next weekend is a big one. I have managed to get myself a spot on the national tour, stage 6, I think it is, at Lilleshall. So I will be heading up there to do some shooting. It'll be my first time going to Lilleshall, and I'm quite excited for it, because especially after shooting so well last weekend, I sort of like peaked a bit too soon, really, because I know when I come up against people like, I don't know, Ollie Hicks and Renee, I'm not going to be shooting anywhere near the scores that they can shoot, but even so, it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to shooting up there. Managed to get myself an Airbnb for the weekend, because it's a 2-day event, so I will be travelling up on the Friday and coming home again on the Sunday. So I'll travel up 4 hours on Friday, and then get a good night's rest, go through all my shot process. So I write my shot process down, and I just read through it the night before a competition, read through it, make sure everything's all tickety-boo and I know exactly what I'm doing. And I will also, on the Friday night, check through all my kit. So I will put my bow together, check my brace height, because the way I sort of pack my bow down, my brace height should be the same every time when I put it together and take it apart. So I will put my bow together on a Friday night, I will check my brace height, I will check through all of my arrows again, although I'm doing it tonight, I will still check through all my arrows. So I will also be doing this tomorrow night too, check all my arrows, check all the nocks are still good, that nothing, there's no cracks or anything in any of the nocks. And then I've got my shot process wrote down, just to sort of reaffirm in my mind that I'm ready for the competition. So I just have it wrote down on a piece of paper, or actually it's on my phone. Have it wrote down just so I read through and I read my stance. So when I walk up to the line, my stance is right. I'm looking at the target, my body's in the correct position, my feet are good, shoulder width or under shoulder width apart. I shoot with my feet quite close together. So I go through my stance, and then nock an arrow. Then I get my bow hand grip set. Then I do my crawl and all of that jazz. And I just read through all of that shot process the night before a competition to just to make sure I'm ready for it really, and I'm in the zone for it as such. This tape is being alright though. I've got you now. Crikey. You probably didn't need to see all of these, did you? Because, you know, once you've seen me fletch one arrow, you may have seen me fletch 20 arrows. It's all the same process, and that, you know, and what I did originally when I first made these arrows, I was a bit sad, and like even these bits of tape that I'm putting on now, this fluorescent yellow tape, I cut them all to a certain length and weighed them, so I know that the backs of my arrows all weighed exactly the same. Pretty sad like that, but it meant I was very consistent and I could tune my arrows, no dramas at all. Done. All right, we are done. So that is all my arrows fletched. All 12 of my arrows. Oh, my Nerf bullet. So that is my spare one I carry in my quiver. Let's show you. So you'll see some people have like a little dragon or a Spider-Man or Batman on the end of their arrow as their spare one that they keep in their quiver. I have half a Nerf bullet because I had one lying around. Right, that's us done. If you found it boring, that's your problem. If you want any other videos on anything at all, let me know. Drop a comment, share it, like it, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one.